Next, Ronald Curry at the controls, calling his own number, whatever. Curry scrambling down the sideline, and then a little flash and dance with a high step and into the end zone. Tar Heels were up 12-7 to the fourth. UNC trying to hold on to a lead that was now 20-13. Anthony Saunders wasn't holding on to much. He fumbled. Joseph Tuipala picking it up. Tuipala added up and returns it to the 22. Curry on the tackle yet. Aztecs have a chance. Threatening on the heels 10. 1:07 left. Brian Russell. Looking, pass, tipped by Brandon Spoon, picked off by Keith Newman. The Aztecs bench cannot believe it. As for Carl Torbersch, the recipient of a Gatorade bash and a bath. 20-13 the final. North Carolina winning. Stuart Scott, a happy guy right now, Carl Ravitch. Tar Heels winning a bowl game for the fourth straight season. North Carolina winning despite completing just 4 passes and not scoring in the second half. Massachusetts, Georgia Southern playing for the championship of Division I AA. First quarter, 7-0 UMass. Georgia Southern's Greg Hill can't hang on. Cole E. Lee taking in for a TD. 3 fumble recoveries for Lee in the first half. 14-0 UMass. Georgia Southern down 38-27. Hill keeping it himself, going outside. A missed extra point made it 38-33. Hill 228 on the ground. Story of the game, this guy Marcel Shipp taking it in easily. 244 yards rushing for him. And what a game this one. I'd say it's high scoring. 55-43 the final. The upset for UMass and for the rest.
And could we hype the Motor City Bowl anymore? Charlie Batch on hand for a Silverdome coin toss. Uh-oh. Things would be all right. Second quarter, we're tied at 7. Chad Pennington in the linear Washington. 14-yard touchdown. Washington's 4th touchdown of the season. Marshall up 14-7. Marshall and Louisville had scored on 5 consecutive drives. Marshall finally with the defensive stand, but it then rushes and harms the kicker. Jeremy Borseth gets run into by Sam Goins, so Louisville's drive continues all the way down to the Marshall 13, and Leroy Collins does the rest. 21-21 at the half. Second half, different story. Marshall's first possession of the second half. Gerald Long. Long goes 50 yards for the touchdown. Lee Corso at half said it looked like Louisville had only 10 men on defense. It sure looked it. Marshall's next possession, Chapman off a swing, goes 65 yards. 4 plays later, as it goes down to the 9-yard line. 4 plays later on 4th and goal, Chapman does the rest. Marshall goes up 35-21 and wins 48-29. The different story of the second half is Louisville didn't score. Pennington with a huge game, 18 of 24.
Focus, focus, focus. Know what you got to get done. Urgency. Got to have urgency.
Who does he think he is? Bill Pito or something?
Focus.
Opening kickoff. You know, the Buffs hadn't scored a touchdown on their opening offensive series all year, so coach says, you know what, we'll get it done in the opening kickoff. And that's what they do. Ben Kelly with the dramatics, 93 yards, 7-0 Colorado. Oregon, oh, what a nightmare. Turnover trouble early on their own 39. Herman Ho Ching getting the handoff. Look out, he fumbles. Second of the day for Ho Ching. Fred Jones recovers for the Buffs. Colorado taking advantage all afternoon from their own 5. Mike Machete. Looking, finding Javon Green, 17-0 Colorado. Now, big point here. An early morning rain also seemed to be a disadvantage for the Ducks. Colorado leading 17-7 in the second, own 42, Machete. Looking, scrambling, finding Marcus Stiggers. Check out Stiggers, stop. Great cutback. Stiggers goes in for the score to make it 24-7 Buffs. Stiggers with 3 catches in this game for 81 yards. Take a look again. Despite the wet turf, Stiggers puts on the brakes and avoids the D. Colorado still focused. Machete to Ryan Cheverini for the 72-yard touchdown. Cheverini caught 3 passes for 96 yards. Machete with an Aloha Bowl record of 4 touchdown passes. It was 34-14 Colorado. And then more Oregon troubles, though. Achilles Smith this time. The screen picked off by Damian Wheeler. Going the other way for the score. The Ducks' 5th turnover. It was 44-14 Colorado. Could it have been the wet field again? Watch number 6, please. Darian Latimer, he's going to actually slip on his pattern, so, you know, he can't block the oncoming Wheeler, and he's gone. Oregon's problems continue. Smith's pass. Uh-oh, not again. No. It's up in the air. It deflects off one Oregon Duck into the hands of another, but look out. Donald Haynes, great catch, right, but then he fumbles the ball.
Oh, man.
Colorado recovers the Ducks' 6th turnover. The Buffs scored points on 4 of the 6 Ducks turnovers, and meanwhile, Smith, though, was not done. He was not about to give up. Achille hitting Latimer on the screen. Latimer picks up 34 yards in this play, and Oregon was scored on a 1-yard run and made it 44-28. To the fourth we go. The Ducks gaining momentum on Colorado's 27. Akili Smith hitting the leaping LaCorey Collins for 15. Oregon would score again on a 1-yard TD, but it was 51-35, and Oregon had the ball. Smith, 24 of 46 for 456 yards, hits Haynes, and nobody stopping him. With a 2-point conversion, it suddenly became an 8-point game, 51-43. Colorado punting on 4th and 9, less than 4 minutes to go. Colorado fakes it, and Cortland Johnson dumps it off to Marcus Washington. Neuheisel looking for the first down because he knows his defense is tired, but Colorado ends up 2 feet short. Neuheisel hoping his defense has enough left to hold Oregon off. Oregon, one last shot, 4th down on their own 30. Smith. Incomplete. Take another look. Smith would slip again on the wet turf. What a way to end a college career as Colorado holds on for the victory, said Ducks coach Mike Bellotti. We made too many mistakes early. Jeremy Aldridge kicking 3 field goals, the longest being 48 yards to set up.
Wahoo Bowl. First quarter Air Force on the move. Morgan, the option pass to Scott McKay for 23 yards. Coach Fisher DeBerry thinks it's delightful, lovely, delicious. Same drive, Falcons at Huskies' 11-yard line. Morgan hands off to Jamal Singleton. Falcons up 7-0. I'm still breathless over those Hawaiian scenics. Second quarter, Washington down 14-0. Heward, raise your hand if you're Desashore. Nice catch. Down to the 3. Huskies would punch it in a play later, narrowing the Falcons' lead to 14-7. Less than 5 minutes to go in the half. It's a fake. Jason Sanderson runs up the middle for 11 yards, keeping the Falcons' drive alive. 2 plays later, Morgan heads right, but pitches to Scott McKay running left. Falcons would add a 2-point conversion, go up 22-7. It's 22-13 in the third quarter. Huskies forced to punt, and they try the fake, but Ryan Fleming's pass underthrown to Devon Johnson. Nothing's working for Jim Lambright. 32-13 Air Force up. Morgan pumps. It's a wide open Matt Farmer who streaks 79 yards. Air Force cruising, and you can't dump water on an Air Force man, can you? That would be insubordination. Don't do it. Oh, Fisher DeBerry is...
He likes it.
Duet. Oh, wee. It's an Oahu. That's what happens when you win the Oahu Bowl. You sort of lose it. Oahu means blowout. 20-point victory for Air Force, which wins its first bowl game since the '91 Liberty Bowl. The Falcons' 22 wins over the last 2 years are second only to Tennessee.
Left page back to throw it for Jerry Rice. Touchdown. Jerry Rice of Mississippi Valley. Second down and 9. And Burner in trouble behind the line of scrimmage. And there's the All-American Bruce Smith, number 63.
Big raw talent.
Yeah, big, and he's doing a nice job right there, too.
Second down, a long 6, and Pro makes a catch at the 45. Pro to the 40. He's to the 30. To the 20, and the Wake Forest standout takes it to the 15 before Eddie Miles rips him down. Casey falls down. Did he get enough into it?
Simmons on the rollout. Touchdown, Dorsey Levens.
Terrell Davis, the tailback, will be throwing a pass back to John Sacca, the quarterback.
Curtis Martin in the backfield, Charleston, Arizona State. And it's Martin this time who has room to the outside. And a big gain down to the 34-yard line of the gray team, but a big gain on the second play of the game for Curtis Martin.
Well, you thought the Blue-Gray Classic was just your run-of-the-mill Christmas Day Bowl. We felt we had to remind you of the talent that once took part in this game. Today, the 60th edition, with plenty of skilled players, including a bunch from LSU and Auburn, 2 teams who appreciate Blue-Gray history, and don't we all? But let's face it, they thought they'd be somewhere else on Christmas Day. LSU was a preseason contender for the national championship. Auburn was the defending SEC West Division champ. Let's go to Montgomery, shall we? Chance for some of the helmets of some of the smaller school stars, getting a chance to show their skills and the heads in them. Division II star Brian Shea of Emporia State. You know, he's college football's career rushing leader, and he's showing off to the NFL scouts in attendance, 62 yards on the ground. Third quarter, Blue faking the end around Stacey Mack of Temple. We'll dive in for one of his 3 TDs on the day. Mack was named the game's MVP. Blue was up by 14 in this game. Fourth quarter, Blue was up 24-17. The game's outstanding defensive player, that guy, LSU's Joe Wesley, who picks off Graham Lee. Not bad for a guy who was part of LSU's maligned defense, a 4-7 team. We are tied at 24. So here we go. Crucial point of the game. 4th and goal at the 1. Graham Lee, all sorts of troubles. Fumbles it. Auburn cornerback Jason Bray picks up the loose ball and returns it to the 14. Bray made plenty of big plays. Little over 5 minutes left. Auburn's Carson Bailey wide open, taking it 65 yards. Bailey with all sorts of speed. Bailey was Gray's MVP in this game, and then he does his Jamal Anderson imitation with that dirty bird thing.
Whatever.
Under 30 seconds to go. Blue driving. Lee back to pass. Lee. Ooh, picked off by Jason Bray. Said Bray was great to do some things that might help my future. His future, consider it helped. Bray finishing with 2 INTs and a fumble recovery. Auburn's Carson Bailey, not to be confused with MTV's Carson Daly.
On the reallifeinsight.com site, Don Nehlen's Mountaineers trying to end a 7-game bowl losing streak. First quarter, West Virginia's Jay Taylor attempts the 40-yard field goal, but Jeff Marriott blocks it. Carlos Posey recovers, and he's gone 70 yards. Coach Smith likes it. His Tigers up 7-0. Second quarter, it's 14.3 minutes, Missouri. Taylor punting on 4th down. Julian Jones blocks it. It's a safety, 16.3 Missouri. It was 24.3 at the half. Third quarter, West Virginia trying to come back. Vince Sabo punts, and the ball's blocked by Boo Sensabaugh. That led to a West Virginia touchdown, 24-10 Missouri. On the ensuing kickoff return, Ricardo Rhodes. He is going 60 yards. Stopped by Charles Fisher at the 40-yard line. Same drive, 2 plays later from the 11. Corby Jones, the stellar Missouri quarterback, playing in his final game for the Tigers. It's a keeper. Third touchdown of the game for Jones. 31-10 is your score. Mountaineers down 10. Coming back, 2.5 left in the game. Mark Bolger going up top for Sean Foreman, leaping down to the 1. West Virginia score to bring within 3, 34-31. Last chance for the Mountaineers onside kick. Wayne Blakely recovers for Missouri, and that will wrap it up. West Virginia goes down as Missouri wins its first bowl game since 1981. Its first 8-win season since then. Devin West, 125 rushing yards for him as he and Jones, best buddies, leave the Missouri team together. West Virginia has lost 8 straight bowl games. That Heritage Bowl sponsored by the Chiropractic Association of America. Do not try this at home. All righty then. Okay. Third quarter, Southern leads 7-2. Sam George, 57-yard scamper. 14-2 Jaguars. Lewis, 7 carries, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's 21-2 Jaguars in the fourth quarter. Jerry Guy. He's the guy who knows the guy. This guy picks off. Randall Foster returns it 35 yards. Jaguars win 28-2, and experience paid off big time in this one. Southern won their 4th Heritage Bowl in 5 appearances. Bethune-Cookman hadn't played in a bowl game, period, in 21 years. We were too hyper, said